Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back to another match review. Man City 2, Brentford 1. Not the most comfortable of games, but a win nonetheless. Back from the international break, of course. It's nice to just get a win. Regardless of performance, sometimes it can take a little while to get up to speed, and it did a little bit today. But again, win's a win. Liverpool have lost. Arsenal, I believe, play tomorrow. North London derby, so potential for them to drop some more points there with a few injuries they've got. So it's looking good. It's looking good. Before I come and break this game down, you do me a massive favour and please leave a like on this video. It'll be massively appreciated. And subscribe if you are new on the road to 10k. But I mean, let's just start. Let's just get into this. Let's start with the first 10 minutes of this game. That's where I want to start, because it's kind of the only real major negative of this game is the first 10 minutes. We conceded after about 20 seconds, which is not ideal. The defending was just lazy. It was switched off. It was, not concentrating. It was shocking. First 10 minutes, we weren't in the game. First 10 minutes, we were dominated. I think Brentford had about 60-70% possession in the first 10 minutes. We couldn't get out. We couldn't get a hold of the ball. Defensive mistakes, lapses in concentration. John Stones ballooning it up in the air for a free header for Vissa. That's 1-0. And if it wasn't for Ederson pulling off a couple of good saves, we could have been 2 or 3-0 down. If we're being real, it was a very slow, sloppy start. We weren't switched on. Defensively, there was just no awareness, no urgency, just not concentrating. And again, Stones today, it's kind of where I want to start with the negatives. Just to get them out the way, because it wasn't a perfect game, let's be honest. It wasn't pretty. It wasn't easy. We didn't make it easy for ourselves. But John Stones today, I just don't really know what was going on with him. I mean, granted, it's his first start of the season, I believe. Of course, he played in the international break, but in terms of club football, that's his first real sort of minutes that he's got this season. Came on off the bench against West Ham before the international break, but in from the start today, and I felt like you could tell it just felt off. I think his positioning at times was just all over the place. There were times where he was caught too high up the pitch, like ridiculously high, like there was no need for him to be that advanced, especially, considering the first half, we had Rico Lewis who was inverting. There was no need for John Stones to go, marauding up the pitch and, decide to try and get involved in attacks, and he tried to do that. There were times just during the entire game that he was on, I know he was taking off sort of 5 minutes before the end, but, when he was on, there were times where his defensive positioning was just woeful. Like, his defensive line was just different. Like, he was 5-10 yards further back than the other 4 defenders and playing everybody on side, and it caused us problems. There were times where he was just so deep, where the defensive line was, we were high, but John Stones was like, again, 10 yards further back. I don't really know what's going on today. It's not, majorly worrying. He wasn't majorly bad. It's just a little bit of ring rust and a little bit of something that, he needs to shake off really quickly, because we've got Inter Milan next and then Arsenal, big games coming up. And with Nathan Ake being injured, he may be called upon in this run-in. So, maybe a little bit of something to work on there. I don't think it was his greatest game, but nothing too shockingly bad. In terms of just overall defensively, I thought it was just far too easy for us to be cut open by Brentford. I don't know whether it was, again, just, had a couple of players in there that hadn't really played so far this season and, might have took a bit of time. You look at Stones and Walker, they took maybe a little bit of time to get into the game, given the fact that they haven't played much. But, yeah, it was just conceding a few chances in the first half. Second half, when they made the subs, Rodri come on, Bardio come on, a little bit less so with the chances. Again, I don't know whether that was just due to personnel. But yeah, just first half, it was just pretty poor in terms of defensively, just not convincing at all whatsoever. But that was kind of the only real negative. Maybe the Savio injury as well, becoming a bit of a problem with him picking up little knocks here and there, just seemingly out of nothing. Was holding his hamstring when he came off, when we brought Nunes on in the 92nd minute. just to waste some time. And I think there was about 3 different players at one stage that were coming off for him because we didn't know who to take off. And, Savio was taken off because he couldn't continue. And that's something that hopefully isn't too serious. And it's just, maybe some tiny little minor thing and it'll be fine. Because, again, it looked really bright today. Maybe needs to cut out the diving. But, again, looks really, really promising. Looks like we've got a real player on our hands. It's just, can he keep on top of the injuries? That's 3 now, I think, in the first 4 games. Came off at half-time against Chelsea after picking up a little knock. Wasn't in the squad against West Ham after picking up something in training. And then again, off at the end today with something that, presumably is an injury, because that's what it seemed like to me when I was watching it. So, hopefully that's not the case, but, we'll survive. But on to the positives. I mean, there's only really one place I can start here, and that is Haaland. I mean, he was the post. He was kissing the post away from another hat-trick, from a 3rd hat-trick in a row. He's on 9 goals in 4 games. He's outscoring teams, not just players. He's outscoring full football clubs in the Premier League. It's outrageous. I mean, the first goal was half a chance, if that, half a chance. And, he's put it in the corner, tucked it away. Like, it's ridiculous. He's in, last season, he had that sort of, I don't really know whether to call it a blip, but he had that sort of period sort of around when he came back from injury where he was missing a few chances. You look at the Chelsea game at home, a few others as well, but, he was missing a few chances last season. But now, half chances, they're getting slotted. They're just being put away, and it is a sight to behold. Like, it's absolutely incredible. And I can't really say much more than that, we're at the stage now where I've always said you give him a chance, he's going to score. It's now at the point where you give him half a chance, he's scoring. Like, it's actually ridiculous. This is not human levels of play. And another 2 goals for him today. Second one, just Edison assist as well, which is wild. That's another one for him. But again, second goal, holds off his man, through one-on-one with the keeper, dinks it over him. Just composure, clinicalness. And again, he was hitting the post away from another hat-trick. 10 goals it would have been. If he got a hat-trick, that's 10 goals in 4 games. But 9 in 4, it's not really bad either. In terms of the rest of the game, again, just kind of solid all around, calm. Nothing really too major to really hit home about. De Bruyne again creating loads of chances. He's passing, he's crossing. Multiple times he split open the defense, which again is good to see that he's still on it. In terms of anything else, of course, Rodri, nice to see him back finally. That's his first appearance for his club. Played in the international break, but that's his first club appearance of the season. So again, nice to have him back, because again, we're gonna need him. In terms of the rest, yeah, calm. I mean, it wasn't easy. It wasn't a pretty game to watch. We didn't, dominate. It could have been a lot worse. There was I'd say a very high possibility that, Brentford can feel a little bit hard done by and feel like they should have got something out of the game, but that's life. We take it, we move on to the next game, 2-1. Early on in the season, as we know, we're usually slow starters, and picking up 3 points is, it's a bonus. We know we normally don't start seasons too well usually, and just being able to be 4 from 4 and pick ourselves up after an international break is calm, and that's all I can say. I'm happy with the 3 points. Not too much to shout about. A couple of things maybe to work on, a couple of things that, we take them that we already knew, like Haaland, but that's about it. So look, that's my thoughts on the game. You let me know in the comment section below on players in the game. Do me a massive favour on your way out of this video. Please leave a like, it'd be massively appreciated, and subscribe if you are new on the road to 10k. And I'll see you in a couple of days for an Inter Milan preview.